Lieutenant Loverlady.
For a new legend, I definitely should have been quicker on this one. I typically am, I just wanted to get more time in on a new legend. Brawl sessions these days aren't very long, but over that time I got this wingnut to level 28. Thanks a lot, Double XP. Ransom is the 66th legend added to Brawlhalla, about over a month ago or so. Not to mention he was the second Chakram legend. I adore Chakram, and my Priya is crazy high leveled, so when Ransom released I felt a little underwhelmed. I mean, by all means, I love his design. The signature is super clean. The stats, they could be better. The weapon combo? Look, even though that April Fool's video said the Chakram bow legend would be a quote-unquote globetrotter, my guess on the weapon combo was a legitimate guess. A bow legend was bound to happen for Chakram since our last one was moonin so long ago. Then again, I could have seen them avoiding bow for fun since the legends who do have bow more recently are objectively uninteresting legends. But hey, Ransom is here nonetheless, and you know I love to dabble around with a new legend anyways. So let's not stall any time and dive into those details. Of course, my Discord server is still hanging around and we're having a blast there. Link is in the description if you want to join. So right, the signatures. These sigs, while not entirely super strong, do have a few of them that stand out really hard. We'll start with the weapon I think is better actually, that being Chakram, which I feel like should be obvious when playing him. Chakram in sig I originally didn't think was his best signature, but now I do. Crazy how things work like that, right? The angle it shoots you is extremely nice for an insig, and it can be slightly steered to alter the angle you send the enemy. I do like this one, but it definitely takes some time to get used to for utilizing that whole angle ascending thing. Once you do get used to it though, it's absurdly strong. The stun on this signature is pretty damn long, so you can set up to send the enemy wherever you want. Just want to get the kill? Let go of the sig button immediately. Want to send downwards? Just hold it for a while. Want to send them off stage for stage advantage? Just move left or right according to where they are and they'll go flying. I've learned to really love this one actually. Either way, Insig has solid damage for his stats, sitting at 27 of hit right, and good force as well. Chakram side sig was Ransom's best sig before the nerfs. The force sitting at 4350 would make you think this one isn't too high, but the signature can kill criminally early. This one has Raptor Orb side sig energy. It's pretty scary. If there's any sig that needs a force nerf, it's probably this one. Which is why they did nerf it. This is what happens when you release a legend analysis after the legend's first balance pass, by the way. Which is sad because this signature was one of the few things Ransom had going for him that kept him in line with the rest of the legends in the game. It's a fun one, but with the nerfs, won't see as much power. Chakram downsig I feel like is the most underrated signature of Ransom's kit for a reason or two. First off, the force isn't shown in game, although using other signatures in the game, I rounded it out to 54/57. More than side sig if you don't count the momentum carry you get when using it, but really it's just an estimate. Here's the wacky part though. Above 30 damage, you'll be dealing 20 damage on a normal hit. And this is the lowest of all of Ransom's signatures. But when you use the signature below 30 damage, it does a whopping 34 damage. These are some big damage numbers, but I actually think this is fair. You can't just spam the signature to win, and this type of damage output can only be hit once per stock on a specific player. But most of the time, you won't reach that 34 damage mark. Not only that, but this signature can be steered absurdly well. Like, it throws people off so much if you know how to use it. I actually think the signature is a great tool at a more passive playstyle, so if your enemy's waking up a bunch or being super aggressive, this signature could help out. As long as it isn't super predictable. Onto the bow signatures, which didn't get buffed or nerfed from the recent balance pass. I really haven't figured these ones out yet. They're kind of peculiar, but hey, we got a schedule to stick to, so let's get on with it. Bow and sig feels nice to hit with a pretty solid 50-50 force and average damage out of the bunch. It's just a matter of getting it to hit, but you know I still love to GC it going onto stage. It doesn't work nearly as well as some other signatures when it comes to doing this, but it gets the job done. Especially when you side charge it off stage for a snazzy kill. I don't hold any hate towards this one, but no particular love for it. Maybe it's good for up dodges? Bow side sig is the one I feel the majority would agree is his best bow signature, and I wouldn't say you're wrong, but this one just doesn't hit right for me. The angle feels very off and you can get a bunch of hits with it, I know I do. It just doesn't feel very fun to use from my experience. It gets the job done for sure, but it also has the least force, leaving a lot to be desired here if you're just trying to get a kill. Bow downsig unfortunately has to be the worst signature out of Ransom's entire kit. Although it is my favorite one to use on Ransom's bow kit, it shares the same force as bow insig, sitting at 50-50. And you have to remember this is a signature that sends upwards. While it does kill at a good percentage, I wish it was more viable when using it underneath the stage's base height. This is why I feel like it's bad, because it realistically is the most fun bow signature to use, snatching up whoever comes into your path, but leaves you very stationary. This is what we like to call a terabyte.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I do like this one, but maybe a little buff to it would be nice to keep it in line with how, unfortunately, mid Ransom's bow kit is. Like I said at the start of the signature section, Chakram is just outright better. His bow game really didn't get any nerfs, obviously, but I think it would have benefited if it did get buffed, actually. His Chakram game is also in a good spot, but really, it's not looking so good for Ransom's future. Ransom's stat lineup, unfortunately, is what kind of ruins him as well, sitting with 7 strength, 4 dexterity, 3 defense, and 8 speed. There's a lot that could have been done here with a bow Chakram legend that would have made Ransom so much more fun to play. The problem here lies with not only the low defense, but surprisingly the low dexterity. Here's the thing about Chakram from a certified to uncertified Chakram player. The weapon is very, very tight on its combos. Although it has low damage, if you play it right, the combo game goes nuts. Priya feels super clean to play Chakram with after all this time. Ransom, on the other hand, while excelling in high strength, which, by the way, high strength Chakram is a blast to play, he lacks in essential Chakram combos, or more so can, depending on what stance you use. Attack stance takes down on Dex, which I would heavily advise against since you lose split side light down light on Chakram. Dexterity stance gives you split Sair neutral light, but sets you at 2 defense, another stance I wouldn't advise using. Defense stance actually gives you a bit of survivability in exchange for speed, which is the most optimal stance on Ransom by far. There's no argument here, it really just is. Then speed stance can set you at a whopping 9 speed, which is more than Priya actually. The problem though is that while Ransom does have more speed than Priya, he feels much slower to play thanks to his low dexterity. I actually think if they took 2 points from speed and put 1 into each defense and dexterity, Ransom could have been a much better legend, but even then, his weapon combo is so offsetting. There's barely any Chakram players left after the nerfs, ones that actually know how to play the weapon, and when you pair Chakram with the objectively worst weapon in the game, it just makes me wonder who this legend is built for. I know a lot of people who actually love bow, but I've never met a bow main who would dare touch Chakram. It's like a virus to them. Or like a Ransom to them? I'll stop with the puns now. As for his play rate, it's going down rapidly. We're about a month or a half past his initial launch, and I've never seen a legend go down this fast. After those nerfs, I could see Ransom easily being a bottom 3 play rate legend, or even surpassing Vector. He'll surely surpass Priya near the bottom of the list. Although I do love Ransom in the design department, the weapon combo doesn't mesh very well together, and the stat lineup isn't very good either. Although he does have the upsides like killing early and high speed, the cons outweigh the pros. Tier list wise, of SA, BC, and D, I'd place Ransom in B tier. I originally placed it higher, but after some time with Ransom, he's just not a good legend. All he has going for him is his Chakram signatures, meanwhile bow and Chakram are pretty terrible when put together. Like I said, it doesn't feel like this legend was made for anyone specific, he just kind of exists. Moving on from balance though, we're on to the cosmetics section. I'm pretty basic when it comes to Ransom's skin selection, and it'll be quick as well. Trust me. God tier has Incognito Ransom only. The default design has a super nice 3D aesthetic to it, specifically what we like to call Anaglyph 3D. The way they recreated this effect in Brawl while also not being a sword to the naked eye, unironically, this is the most creative Brawlhalla skin to date. It looks so clean. In pretty good tier, we have Default, Desktop Butterfly, and Rootkit Ransom. All of these are amazing skins. Default feels looking sick as a default design. I remember someone said they looked like a Sonic the Hedgehog OC. Desktop Butterfly has nice weapons and has the most going on, and Rootkit actually takes color swaps swimmingly. This one's the underrated one, of course. A fantastic skin lineup, and just like with any new legend, I can't wait to see what they do for Ransom's future skins. For the associated cosmetics section, we have a few to go over. My last analysis, I actually forgot to include a few for Taros, that being his bot name and his level 50 title. So, my bad Taros, but Ransom is the talk of the town today. He has the Ransom Doodle avatar, or Ransoodle for short, which came out criminally quick while also looking nice. The Monitor Smash emote is pretty neat too, although I wouldn't have bought it under normal terms. It kind of gives me Battle Pass Season 8 vibes. Not to mention his bot name, Ransomware, which actually is spelt like that. And his title, the Virus. Simple but clean. Anyone who gets a level 50 Ransom this early on has some respect if they actually like him that much. Unless it's botted, of course. We don't like botters on this channel. Either way, Ransom is a super fun legend in the lore. He seemingly found the cure for cancer, stopped an asteroid from hitting the country of Turkey, and even saved an orphanage from burning. How nice of him. I always thought of Ransom as, hey, wait a minute, who messed with my script? Oh my god, I should have known something like that would have happened in this video of all videos. Although Ransom wasn't always this chaotic, his demand for power grew, and over time he would digitize his consciousness. Miami Dome wasn't safe from this absolute menace, and he'd find a way into Valhalla after a small mishap thanks to Nash. You can't blame the man, he just wanted something to eat. So what are your thoughts on the Virus himself? Do you think he's too strong, in need of buffs, or is he all around balanced to you? Let me know what you think in the comments, because you know I'm always curious. So of course subscribe and also share the content with your friends if you like the content. So until next time, y'all play it safe and always remember to keep on brawling.